Imagine you wake up in a hidden valley. Everyone is blind. You are the only person who can see. You think you have a superpower. But soon, the people tell you your eyes are a sickness. And if you want to stay and live with them, you must lose your eyes forever. Welcome to the Country of the Blind, a famous story by H.G. Wells. This story is specially made for English beginners, A1-A2. So relax, listen carefully, and enjoy the story while you improve your English. Let's begin. Chapter 1. A Big Fall. Our story begins with a young man named Nunez. He was from Ecuador. Nunez loved climbing mountains. One day, he was helping a group of climbers in the Andes Mountains. The mountains were very high. The air was cold. Snow covered the ground. Suddenly, something went wrong. Nunez slipped. He tried to stop himself, but he could not. He fell down a steep, snowy mountain. He fell for a long time. Snow and rocks moved around him. Then, everything became dark. After some time, Nunez opened his eyes. He was alive. His body hurt. He had many small cuts and bruises, but nothing was broken. Slowly, he stood up. He looked around. He was inside a beautiful valley. There were green fields, small flowers, a quiet river. Everything looked peaceful. But Nunez was afraid. He looked up. Huge walls of rock surrounded the valley. The mountains were too steep. There was no road, no path, no way out. He was trapped. At first, Nunez did not think about the beautiful valley. He thought about his home. He wanted to go back. He missed his friends. After some time, he saw a small village. He smiled. People, maybe they can help me. As he walked closer, he noticed something strange. The houses had no windows. Not one. Nunez stopped. That is strange, he thought. But he kept walking. Soon, he saw 3 men coming toward him. Nunez smiled with relief. He ran to them. "Please," he called. "I need your help. I fell from the mountain. I need to go back home." The 3 men stopped. They listened carefully. Then they walked toward him, very slowly. When they were close, Nunez looked at their faces. His smile disappeared. Their eyes were closed. The men were blind. Nunez felt cold. One man touched his coat. Another touched his face. They looked surprised. One man asked, "Who are you?" "My name is Nunez," he answered. "I fell from the mountain." He pointed behind him. "I came from up there." The men did not look. They could not. One man asked, "What is up?" Nunez was confused. He pointed again. "The mountain. The mountain is there." The men did not understand. They touched his hands again. Then one of them said quietly, "This man is very strange." Nunez did not understand what was happening. He looked at the 3 men. A strange feeling grew inside him. Something was very wrong with this place. Chapter 2. A Village Unlike Any Other. The three men asked Nunez to walk with them. He followed. As they walked through the village, Nunez looked around carefully. Then he saw something shocking. Children were playing. They were blind. Women were making clothes. They were blind too. Men were working in the fields. They were also blind. Nobody looked at anything. Nobody used their eyes. Everyone walked with great care. They used their hands. They listened carefully. They knew every road, every house, every step. Nunez could not believe what he was seeing. He stopped a group of workers. "Can you tell me how to leave this valley?" he asked. "I need to go home." The workers looked surprised. One man asked, "Where did you come from?" Another asked, "Why do you speak so strangely?" Nunez tried to explain. "I came from the world outside. I can see the mountains. I can see the sky." The people looked confused. They did not understand. Then, little by little, Nunez learned the truth. Long ago, the people in this valley became blind. Their children were born blind. Then their children were born blind too. Many years passed. After a long time, nobody remembered what it meant to see. Words like sea, mountains, or sky meant nothing to them. Their world was very different. They understood the world with sound, with touch, and with smell. For the first time, Nunez understood the truth. Everyone in the valley was blind. He was the only person who could see. At first, Nunez felt excited. But then he looked around. High mountains stood all around the valley. There was still no road, no path, no way out. His heart became heavy. He still wanted to go home. He decided he would search for a way out before doing anything else. Chapter 3. A New Plan. After talking to the people in the village, Nunez wanted only one thing. He wanted to go home. Before he spoke to the villagers again, he decided to search for a way out. He walked to the edge of the valley. He climbed over big rocks. He looked inside small caves. He searched every place he could find. He hoped to find a path back to the outside world. He searched for many hours, but he found nothing. The mountains were too high. The rock walls were smooth. They were too steep to climb. There was no road. There was no secret path. There was no way out. Nunez stopped. He looked around one last time. Then he understood. He was trapped. He would never go home. As the sun began to go down, Nunez sat on a large rock. He looked at the small village below. He felt very sad. He thought about his family. He thought about his friends. He thought about his old life. Everything was gone. For a long time, he said nothing. Then, a memory came into his mind. It was an old saying he heard when he was a boy. In the country of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Nunez smiled. Slowly, his sadness began to disappear. He looked at the village again. The people cannot see, he thought. They do not know the outside world. They do not know the mountains. They do not know the stars. But I know all these things. I can see. If I cannot leave this valley, then I will not live as a prisoner. I will become their leader. I will become their king. With this new plan in his mind, Nunez stood up. The next morning, he walked back to the village. This time, he was full of confidence. He believed the village would soon belong to him. Chapter 4. A big surprise. When Nunez entered the village, he smiled proudly. He believed everything would go as he planned. But he made one very big mistake. He thought blind people were weak. He was wrong. The people in the valley had been blind for hundreds of years. Because of this, their other senses became very strong. They could hear the smallest sounds. They could hear a person walking from far away. They could smell different people. They knew every road, every house. They knew every stone under their feet. Nunez did not know this. He stood in the middle of the village and said, "I can see. I can see the mountains. I can see the sky. I can see the sun." The old men looked confused. One of them asked, "What is the sky?" Another asked, "What is the sun?" Nunez pointed above his head. "The sky is up there. The mountains are all around us." The villagers laughed. One old man said, "This young man says strange words. There is no sky." Another man said, "The world has a roof above us. There are no mountains. There is only our valley." Nunez tried again. "There are stars at night. There is light. There are many colors." The villagers shook their heads. They did not understand. One old woman said, "His mind is sick." Nunez was shocked. He thought they would admire him. Instead, they believed he was ill. His greatest gift looked like a sickness to them. Chapter 5. The Fight. Nunez became angry. "No!" he shouted. "I am not sick. I can see. You should listen to me." Nobody believed him. The villagers stayed calm. Nunez picked up a heavy garden tool. He held it above his head. "I will do what I want," he shouted. "You cannot stop me." For a moment, nobody moved. Everything was quiet. Then the blind men listened carefully. They heard Nunez breathing. They heard his feet move on the ground. They knew exactly where he was. Suddenly, the blind men started moving. They listened carefully. Step by step, they walked toward Nunez. They knew exactly where he was. Nunez was surprised. "How do they know where I am?" he thought. He stepped back. The men followed him. He moved to the left. They followed again. They did not need eyes. Their ears were enough. Nunez felt afraid. He swung the garden tool and pushed one man away. Then he turned and ran. He ran out of the village. He climbed into the cold mountains. He did not stop running until the village was far below him. Finally, he sat down on a rock. His heart was beating fast. He looked down at the village. Then he spoke quietly. "I was wrong. They are blind, but they are not weak." The old saying was not as simple as he had believed. Chapter 6: A New Life. Nunez stayed in the mountains. One day passed, then another day. He had no food. He had no fire. The nights were very cold. During the day, he tried to catch a wild animal, but he could not. The animals ran away. Nunez became weaker and weaker. He sat alone on a cold rock. Then he remembered the old saying, "In the country of the blind, the one-eyed man is king." He gave a sad smile. "What a foolish saying," he whispered. "It is not true." He looked down at the village. He knew he had only two choices. He could stay in the mountains and die from hunger, or he could go back to the village. He closed his eyes. "I don't want to go back," he thought, "but I want to live." The next morning, Nunez walked slowly to the village. When he reached the entrance, he called for help. The guards came to him. "I am sorry," Nunez said. "I was wrong. My mind was confused. I will not talk about seeing again. Please, give me some food." The guards took him to the village elders. The elders listened carefully. One old man said, "We told you that you were sick. Now you understand." Nunez lowered his head. "Yes," he answered quietly. The elders accepted him. They gave him food. They gave him water. But they also gave him hard work. Every day, Nunez carried heavy stones. He worked in the fields. He cleaned gardens. He did the hardest jobs in the village. The man who wanted to become king was now only a worker. Chapter 7: Medina. Months passed. Nunez became quiet. He worked hard every day. He stopped talking about the outside world. But inside his heart, he never stopped thinking about home. Many times, he searched for another way out of the valley. He climbed different rocks. He walked to every corner. But every search ended the same way. There was no escape. Little by little, he began to lose hope. He thought he would never see his home again. One day, he noticed a young woman. Her name was Medina. She was the daughter of his master. At first, Nunez did not think much about her. He was too sad. He missed his old life too much. But they worked near each other every day. Slowly, they began to talk. Medina was different from the others. She listened when Nunez spoke. She did not laugh at him. She did not call him crazy. She asked him questions. What was your home like? What did the outside world look like? Nunez smiled. He told her about rivers, about forests, about cities, about the blue sky, about the stars at night. Medina listened quietly. She could not imagine these things, but she liked hearing his stories. Every evening, they talked together. Nunez began to wait for these moments. He liked hearing her gentle voice. He liked her kindness. Slowly, his heart began to change. The dream of going home became smaller. His love for Medina became stronger. After he lost hope of going home, Medina became his new home. She became the most important person in his life. She gave him hope again. She made him smile again. In the village, many people did not think Medina was beautiful. But Nunez thought she was the most beautiful woman he had ever met. He had lost his home, but now he had found someone he loved. One day, he made a decision. He would ask Medina to marry him. She smiled. "Yes," she said, "I will marry you." Nunez had never been happier. But their happiness did not last long. Chapter 8: A Terrible Choice. When the people in the village heard the news, they became angry. One man said, "How can Medina marry him? He is still sick." Another man said, "He is not like us. He says strange things." The village doctor came to see Nunez. He touched Nunez's face. Then he touched his eyes. After a moment, he smiled. "I know the problem," he said. "These strange eyes make his mind sick. If we remove them, he will become a normal man." The village elders agreed. Then many other people agreed too. Yes, then he can marry Medina. When Nunez heard this, his face turned white. He could not believe it.
"They want to take away my eyes," he thought. "My eyes are not a sickness. They are the best gift I have." For many days, Nunez could not sleep. Every day, people came to talk to him. They all said the same thing. "You are a good man, but you are not like us. Your eyes make your mind sick. That is why you say strange things. If the doctor removes your eyes, you will become normal. You will be like everyone else. You will no longer be sick. You will be one of us." The village elders believed this. The doctor believed this. Everyone in the village believed this. Even Medina believed it. She held Nunez's hands and said, "I love you. I want us to stay together forever. Please do the operation. Then everyone will accept you." Nunez said nothing. Every day, more people spoke to him. Slowly, he began to feel alone. Sometimes he even asked himself, "Are they right? Am I really sick?" But whenever he looked at the mountains, or the blue sky, or the stars at night, he knew the truth. His eyes were not a sickness. They were the best gift he had. The day of the operation came closer. Nunez still did not know what to do. Chapter 9: The Final Choice. The day of the operation arrived. Early that morning, Nunez woke up before everyone else. He could not sleep. His mind was full of questions. He quietly walked out of the village. He wanted to be alone. Slowly, he climbed a small hill. Then, he looked up. The sun was rising behind the mountains. Golden light covered the valley. The sky was bright blue.
The air was cool and fresh. Birds flew across the sky. Flowers shined in the morning light. Nunez stood very still. Maybe this would be the last time he would ever see the world. He looked at the mountains. They were beautiful. He looked at the blue sky. It seemed to go on forever. He watched the clouds moving slowly. He watched the birds flying freely above him.
Then he remembered the world outside the valley, the rivers, the forests, the cities, the oceans, the stars at night. For a long time, he said nothing. Then he thought about Medina. He remembered her kind voice. He remembered her smile. He remembered the quiet evenings they spent together. After he lost hope of going home, Medina became his new home. She was the reason he wanted to stay in the valley. He loved her with all his heart. For a moment, he imagined a happy life with her. A small house, working together every day, growing old together. A smile came to his face. But then, he remembered the operation. If he stayed, he would never see Medina's beautiful face again. He would never see her smile. He would never see another sunrise. He would never see the mountains. He would never see the blue sky. He would never see the stars. He would live in darkness for the rest of his life. Tears filled Nunez's eyes. He looked at the valley one last time. Then he whispered, "I love Medina with all my heart, but I cannot lose who I am. My eyes are not a sickness. They are the best gift I have. I will always love you. Goodbye, Medina." Without saying another word, Nunez turned around. He began to climb the mountain. The climb was long. The rocks were sharp. His hands began to bleed. His clothes were torn. Many times he almost fell. But he did not stop. He climbed higher and higher and higher. As the sun was setting, Nunez reached the high mountains. The valley was far below him. He lay down on a cold rock. His body was tired. His hands hurt. He was alone. He did not know if he would live. But when he looked up, he saw the bright stars. He smiled. He had lost the woman he loved, but he had kept the freedom to see the beauty of the world. For the first time in a long time, he was truly free. And that is the end of The Country of the Blind. Nunez lost the woman he loved. He lost the safe life in the valley. But he kept something even more important: his freedom. Nunez chose to keep the greatest gift he had, even when the choice was difficult. What about you? What would you choose? Would you stay with the person you love? Or would you choose your freedom? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Here, you can enjoy more stories and improve your English at the same time. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next story.